What's up, guys? Today we're going to be finally going over the Lotus-Eater. We can finally farm this weapon this week in the Nightfall or the GM. And this thing is obviously very strong. It is a rocket-assisted frame sidearm that is void with destabilizing rounds, and that alone makes it worth farming. So in this video, we're going to be going over what role is the best on this weapon, and it's talking about how good it is. So starting off with the right column, obviously we have destabilizing rounds, which just got buffed this episode to become probably the best PvP perk in the game, where now when you get a final blow and you apply volatile to nearby targets, as long as you hit someone with that burst, you'll get volatile rounds for 4.5 seconds, then with enhanced over 5 seconds. And volatile is easily the best ad clear in the game. It's be a debuff like Jolt that gets applied to the target, and every single time you hit them with a slight delay, they will then explode over and over, and not only add a lot of damage to the target that is debuffed, but do a huge amount of damage in a huge radius for great AoE ad clear. So obviously that is going to be the go-to perk in the right on this weapon, but with this episode's artifact where we can get volatile going with multiple other sources, including just 3 rapid final blows with a void weapon. If you really wanted to, you can take advantage of a different right column perk this episode. So you could use something like One for All instead, which will be a 35% buff after hitting 3 targets, which will be very easy because this is a AoE weapon. Or you could even try Adrenaline Junkie, which will be 33%. You can get the full stacks with a Grenade Final Blow. But I think the best option if you didn't want to use Destab this season would be Withering Gaze, where ADSing for 1.5 seconds will allow you to void weaken the target, so a 15% debuff. And this could be a good utility role with something like Shoot to Loot in the left. And with sidearms being anti-barrier champion this season, what we can do is just aim down sights for 1.5 seconds while waiting for the champion shield to come up, shoot it, break it, and apply the weaken at the same time, and then follow up with the kill a little bit easier. But overall, once this episode's done and we don't have this artifact anymore, Destab is going to be by far the perk you want in the right. So what can we pair with that in the left? Well, really any of the 6 perks you can get away with. I do think there are ones that are better than the other. So starting off with a 2, I would probably avoid and not use myself. That would be Feeding Frenzy and Beacon Rounds. Both perks are good. They're both about giving you 100 reload speed and giving you a reload duration multiplier to make the animation even quicker. But why use a reload perk when we have Reconstruction on this weapon, which will allow us just to not have to reload? And so with this perk, it's going to double the mag size. So we'll talk a little bit more about the magazines later in the video. But with Tactical Mag plus Adept Mag, it'll go up to 17 in the mag. Then with Appended or Extended, it'll go up to 18. And so we can double either of those numbers with Reconstruction to 34 or 36 with Appended or Extended. And at that point, your mag is like 2/3 of your entire reserves. So why worry about reloading? We can just have like the entire reserves of the weapon in your mag already. And then what makes Reconstruction even better, not only do you have a huge mag, it also is like built-in auto-loading holster, where you can just take the weapon out, shoot it, stow it, and it'll just reload over time, and it'll be ready to go the next time you need it. So that's why I would use that instead of the 2 reload perks. The 2 reload perks are still fine if you get them. Like I said, all 6 perks you can really get away with using. I do think Reconstruction is the best reload style perk on the weapon. Then we have Shoot to Loot, which will be great for utility to pick up ammo across the map and reload all of your equipped weapons. Like I mentioned, this could be cool to pair with Withering Gaze just for like a utility 1, or Destab just for ad clear and the utility of Shoot to Loot. And then we also have Repulsor Brace plus Destab or Withering Gaze to apply the Void debuffs, and when you kill them, you'll get the Void Overshield. And there's a lot of people that don't love Repulsor Brace, kind of think the Overshield isn't the most useful thing ever, but I don't hate it. It's just another like form of DR in a way, and with how often you'll be proccing it with destabilizing rounds, it is definitely a great combo, and probably top 3 role I would go for. But finally, the role that I think I am the most excited about and the one I'll use the most is Strategist plus Destab. And that is just because the base reload on this weapon is pretty good. If you get someone like Flared and a Reload Masterwork, you have close to max reload speed anyways. And this is the one perk on the left that gives you ability energy, and with Titan right now being all about the barricade and the bolt charges, Strategist plus Destab with the artifact also to help get your barricade back is just a great role to get that build up and running. or really any build where you want to use your class ability very quickly. So recapping the roles I would want, I think are going to be the best long term. Obviously on the right, the first three are all going to be with D-Stab, and the left column perks I want to pair with that are going to be Strategist, Repulsor, then Reconstruction. Then the fourth role would be Shoot to Loot plus D-Stab or Withering Gaze for utility. And then if we look at the magazines are important and at the same time not that important. And we throw up a tweet from Max. I was starting to gather some of the data myself, but he threw up a tweet with all of it in one spot. Very helpful. I'll link the tweet down below if you want to check it out. But we look at what this is saying. On the left side, we have all the reserves. And the right side, we have all the magazine sizes. And really you just want to avoid all of the red ones. Outside of that, they're all very close. Obviously, there are ones that are better. For example, Appended plus Adept Mag is the best reserves. And Appended or Extended will give you 18 in the mag. So it looks like Appended overall is the best and definitely the way to go. But if you look, most of the other rolls are only like -1, maybe -2 for the total reserves and the mag size. So it's not that big of a difference. You just want to avoid the ones that are bad, which are the red ones. And this is like just really weird. If you look at Extended with backup mag, it's the best at 45. But then you put on Adept Mag, it goes down by 6. Like, what is going on there? But really, with whatever mag you get, there is a good option for it, either through backup or Adept Mag. So as long as you're farming Adepts, really you should be good with anything. So I think the two I would personally want would be Appended plus Adept Mag, or I would just go with Flared Magwell plus Backup Mag for the better reload speed. And the final lane on this weapon is just the two origin traits. First, we have Vanguard's Vindication, or we have Stunning Recovery. Both of them be pretty similar, give you health back. Obviously, Vindication will just be better overall because it's just on Final Blow, not on Stunning Champions. You could get away with the Stunning Champion one this season because it is anti-barrier, but obviously we're going to be using this mostly for ad clear. And the health back on kill isn't a lot, but obviously with great AoE ad clear with D-Stab, you're going to be getting a lot of Final Blows with the scene, and it'll add up over time. Another thing that is really cool about D-Stab, plus a lot of the other round-based elemental effects, is they count as their elemental damage. So D-Stab counts as Void ability damage. So that means it'll proc Devour on Void Warlock, and more importantly this season on all the characters, it will actually proc Bolt Charge and be counted as ability damage, and will consume your 10 stacks of Bolt Charge. So that's pretty cool for non-Titan, for a way to make your weapon discharge Bolt Charges. So yeah, this weapon is just really good. I would say the only negative I can say about it is, to some extent, perks like D-Stab or Volt Shot, the majority of your damage and your AoE accurate potential is just from applying the debuff to a target and reprocking it over and over. So to some extent, it doesn't matter what weapon you're actually using, or Volt Shot or D-Stab. So like a machine gun, a primary, or in this case a special sidearm, once you apply the volatile to a target, it's kind of the same no matter what you're using to reproc it, right? So you kind of have to be careful of how fast you go through ammo with this weapon. I will say the benefit of having D-Stab on this weapon compared to others is, since it is an AoE explosion, you can apply it to a bigger radius of targets and reproc the volatile on a bigger radius by doing some splash damage in a area instead of just hitting a single target. So it obviously is more efficient at both spreading and reprocking the volatile, but you can definitely chew through ammo pretty quickly. But the benefit of these sidearms is they get a lot of ammo from special ammo bricks, so as long as you're being careful, you should be good, but you can definitely rip through ammo pretty quickly with these weapons. Anyways, I think that's gonna be it for the breakdown. Once again, just get D-Stab plus really any perk in the left and you're practically good to go. Let me know which role you want yourself down below. Like usual, thanks for watching. Catch you guys next time.